Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, still going through organizing these engines, taking them down and wiping them off. Some of them were covered with dust, which means they've been sitting way too long without running. So anyway, just moving them around, cleaning them off, and then putting them back in order by model number or type. Anyway, these are two 898s that I picked up on eBay, and both of them were junk when I got them. Neither one of them ran. And you notice, even though they're the same, they are different. You notice this one is missing the jewels. And these are just held on with tabs that are bent over. And someone has removed them. Now, this one's also missing the number board. But in any case, a great tip. I think I did a video on this. I'm not sure. You know, it leaves a big gaping hole when you remove these things, and it just looks terrible. So a really simple way to fix this is to take a piece of tape and put it over each side and then lightly mist it with a bit of textured paint. And those holes virtually disappear. From a foot away, you cannot tell those jewels were ever on there. And this one is complete. Actually, both of them are, minus the jewels. And this one was missing the number board, so I'll have to put something in there. The case, or the point is, both of these were cheap. Neither one of them ran. And I got them on eBay, $8 and $10, or $10 and $12, something like that. And this is what I'm looking for all the time. But the thing is, all of them are original, and all of them are running. Now, this one is on the second rail pulling tin litho, which is a heavy consist. It may not be as heavy, but it has a lot of wheel resistance. Plastic or a steel axle running on plastic. It just is more difficult to pull than the tin litho, which is really surprising. Anyway, I've added a traction tire to this one made out of white vinyl tape. Made a tremendous difference. So we'll take this one around. Power's turned on. Let's take this one around. Okay, there's about 50% power. Let's take it up a bit faster. So as you see, it's running really well. So this one, pulling tin litho, we'll take this one up to 50% power. That one's really scooting. So let's turn this down to 40%. Okay, there's 40% on that one. Now, the second rail is an old Lionel engine. And I needed something really heavy that could pull these 8 passenger cars. And this was perfect for that. It has a tremendous amount of pulling power simply because it weighs so much. It weighs about 2.5 pounds. So it is quite heavy. So let's get this one running. And that's about 55–60%. Running really well. Like I said, I needed a heavy engine that could pull these passenger cars. These are heavy. And then the outside rail is just a 666. And I modified that tender with a spotlight. And this is pulling 21 Lionel cars. And that's about 60% power. So the really neat thing about this is all of these are original trains, all of them, you know, 60, 70 years old, and here they are running. It's just really gratifying to see these things running so well, knowing that they're so old, and they were just virtually forgotten for decades, until somebody sold them on eBay because they didn't want them anymore. You know, none of them ran. They had been neglected forever, covered with oxide. And if you're willing to put a few minutes of your time into repairing these things, you can get some really, really nice stuff at a really decent price. And it's like this tin litho. All of this is 70 years old. It's all original. And it's sitting here running. You know, when I first got into this, I had a floor layout, and I never thought it would get to the point where I would have a room dedicated to these trains. But I've had such a good time doing it, and I've done it on such a small amount of money that it's actually quite amazing. And the whole point of these videos is to encourage everyone who wants to run model trains that if you're on a budget, you can do this really, really cheap. It doesn't take a whole lot of money to run these old MARX trains. It is a lot of fun. It's really gratifying to be able to take an old train and bring it back to life. And they're all running absolutely perfectly. They run great. And you can have a lot of fun doing this. I have more fun fixing them than I do running them. But anyway, these two 898s are running perfectly. And this old Lionel engine, like I said, it weighs about 2.5, maybe more than that. It is really heavy. It's the heaviest engine I have. And the heavier it is, of course, the more weight it can pull. Called weight adhesion. That way you get no wheel slip. And pulling 8 Lionel passenger cars. And this is that old 666, and I probably have 10 of these. And painted with oil. This was a junker when it got here, frozen solid, dead as a hammer. Modified this old tender, and these are all Lionel and Menards cars. And I built most of these myself. Buying $7.99 flat cars and putting things on them. Really simple. That's where all the helicopters, the bulldozer, all this stuff came from. It was just really simple to do it. It was inexpensive. And the nice thing about it, it works. And from a foot away, you can't tell whether you paid $10 for this or whether you paid $60 for it. You have some really, really nice rolling stock. And like I said, you can do this on an absolute budget. So here's a bunch of old trains, all original, and all of them are running. So, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on these 898s as I was sorting through them and, like I said, dusting them off. They've been sitting way too long, so it's time to run them. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.